Hello there, I'm Christy, and let's wrap this up. Today we're going to be tying a Danish rosette with an extra long scarf, which gives us a whole bunch of rolls here in our Danish rosette. And if you don't know, I named it the Danish because to me it looks like a Danish with the cheese spot in the center. So an old cheese Danish. And there we have it. Today's wrap is the Danish Rose with an extra long t-shirt. This t-shirt is an extra long t-shirt from Wrapunzel. It is 110 inches by about 30 inches wide. So when we say extra long, it is extra long, and it will wrap several times around a medium to large size head. Our second scarf is this lovely floral with a lace trim. It is a Yeieeo. It is kind of a creamy pink background with these nice dusty rose, dark purple mauve flowers with the sage green flowers. And then there's also this rust orange flower interest in here. And so it can go with several different scarves. Underneath this scarf tie, we will be using the Wrapunzel Cloud9 half stuffed. Let's get started here. I have my half stuffed Cloud9 shaper on. Our first scarf will be the Wrapunzel's Extra Long T-shirt scarf, and this is a long scarf. It is a little over 110 inches long by about 30 inches wide. So we will be starting, I already have it folded. This is the midpoint lengthwise, and you can see what we've got going here. So I'm going to pull this up, and then midpoint lengthwise, I'm going to be taking and grabbing here and going to the 1/4 point. So midpoint here, this is the 1/4 point, and then I'm actually going to be coming back this way towards the center from that midpoint, or the 1/4 point. And I'm going to take that and I'm going to go over my head, bring it to the nape of my neck, and then fold over the excess, fold under the excess in the front. As you can see, since this is not a very wide scarf, there's not going to be a whole lot of excess. Now I have the shorter end on this side so that when it gets tied, it will be over on this side, because I'm going to put my rosette more towards this side. The length of your center tie portion, which is the center of your rosette, the length of it is going to determine on where your placement of your rosette is on your head. So your rosette will come up, and this is going to come up through the center of your flower, and we'll be working with that. And yes, there is a lot here, but it is not going to be quite as much as you think. So the next step, now that I have gotten that portion on, is I'm going to take my Yeieeo scarf, that really pretty kind of dusty rose patterned. And for this first part, I'm going to put that trim in the back. So I have the scarf is folded in half lengthwise, so that I'm only working with half the width. And this point here is the center line of the center fold if you're folding from end to end. So I'm going to bring that up and over and put that right in there. I'm going to go ahead and tie it. I will tie it above the first knot. As I've said before, this knot, doing it this way, tends to leave me with enough or less bulk here so that I can look up and not have a whole bunch at the back of my head. Next tie, we're going to take one side, and I usually start with my non-tie side, And I'm going to take and just fold those edges in there and bring that up and over. This one really isn't going to be seen. It's more just a, we're going to get it out of the way wrap. So I'm going to bring that around. It's going to go under here and then get tucked up into this scarf and into this knot underneath the scarf there. Get it up underneath, and it will not be shown. So now we're going to come around, and this time I actually do want to have the trim showing, so I'm going to fold this back end in and leave this towards my face because that's where it's going to be. So now I'm going to take that, and I want that pretty lace edge, and that pretty lace edge is going to sit along here, and I can either do one lace edge or I can do two. I think today we'll do two. And we're going to take that, go ahead, and if you've got a little bit of extra space here at the back, just pull the back a little bit. We're going to take this, and I'm going to bring it in and just tuck it underneath that knot and get it up in to the back of the tie and hide it up in there. I do not have a whole bunch of stuff back there. And now we're going to do the rosette after I fix these edges because I just want them to be shown. All right, so now I'm going to take my rosette. I think I'm going to do it a little bit farther back because remember, your rosette is actually going to spread. Now I want this, the center, to start your tie at the front because you're going to bring it around, and that center needs to be pointing forward. Now, I will not be having it pointing forward right now, but that actually gives us the best rosette. Now, I'm going to bring those ends close together, then I'm going to start twisting. This is generally the direction I twist. You can twist any direction you want, but I think this works best. And then when I start turning my rosette around that center, I'm actually going to tug on this a little bit, and I'm going to hold this in place. Bring this around and kind of hold that in place still. Make sure nothing gets stuck down in there. And then bring that around. It helps to hold things in place while you're doing this, because sometimes they can just jump and run and get away from you, much like a toddler. All right, and we're going to finish doing this up, and it may go around one or two more times because this extra long scarf is so very long. So you'll see I actually get 4 wraps around, and each wrap actually gets successively larger. Or yes, there, and as I kept it flatter, that last one is going to be there. So there is my edge. I am going to take this little tail, put my fingers behind that portion of pink scarf, and I'm going to tuck it in there. And now, with my rosette being so big and so flat, I'm going to take that center and I'm going to open it up because I want the corners. And I'm going to take that, wrap it down, and then wrap it this way. Believe it or not, it works a little bit better that way. I'm going to do this one first. So just spin it over and around toward the back, and then put your finger underneath that pink t-shirt scarf and just tuck it in there. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this side, making sure that this back edge here stays down around the bottom edge of that rosette. And I'm just going to twist that up, and then this is going to get tucked into this side. So I'm going to put my fingers in here, and That little corner was just a little long, so I did fold it back up a little bit. But now I can come in here and I can play with that a little bit. Make it real pretty. Move my scarf, the lace edges around a bit so that they can be seen a little bit better. And I have my pretty Danish Rosette. And that's it. Thank you for wrapping with me, and I'll see you next time on Let's Wrap This Up.